Hey guys, this is Reggie, and I'm here as a part of Gunpla Network today to bring you my review of the figurized standard WarGreymon from Digimon, or if you're familiar with the Japanese dub, Digimon Adventure. Now, before I begin, I just want to give a quick little shout out to Canadian Gundam for supplying me this kit. They have a ton of great selections of Gunpla and other plastic model kits. They have a flat rate $10 shipping free all throughout North America. They have great selections of both popular and obscure Gundam kits, or just other plastic and plamo in general. Give them a quick look and see if they have anything you're interested in, and tell them that Gunpla Network sent you. Now, this is the figurized standard normal version of WarGreymon. Now, about 3 years ago, I built and painted the figurized amplified WarGreymon, and I thought, compared to the Omnimon, that this was a fantastic upgrade compared to the old version. Brand new mold, great colors, but I wanted to add a little bit more flair to it, so I decided to paint it. Going into the standard version of WarGreymon, I was expecting a lot of reuse of assets, especially with the plastic. I was expecting to just take the amplified mold and simplify it down to a more anime accurate WarGreymon. No, that's not what we have here. This is a completely brand new mold. Nothing was reused. They might have reused some engineering, but outside of that, I can't see. I looked at all the runners and they all say 2021 WarGreymon. This is brand new, which is really impressive because they could have gone the easier route of just taking the amplified WarGreymon and then just simplifying it down. No, brand new. I will admit though that this WarGreymon is a bit smaller than the amplified version. Amplified version, even though it's a high grade level kit, I put it on the height of a master grade. This one fits more in line with the high grade size, even though a lot of the same engineering techniques were used here. As far as stickers, in terms of build quality, I'd say this is a really good kit. It still copies a lot of the formula from the amplified with varying amount of colors. You get the brilliant orange, you get yellow, you get red, you get a little bit of kind of like the cheap silver, and it's a great looking kit. Sticker wise, there's not really a lot you have to use. I'd say the most mandatory ones are the eyes and the stickers to make up the Brave Shield, which is a little disappointing because it's just, I really felt it would have looked a lot better had it been a molded in piece rather than just these white stickers everywhere. They don't look that fantastic to me, but that was also a problem with the amplified WarGreymon. And if they carry a lot of the same DNA, even though it's completely brand new runners, I can sort of let it go. It's an equal problem across the board. I can let it slide. As far as posing, I would say that this is a little disappointing. It's not bad per se. You're going to get shoulders, arms, elbows. The wrists are kind of implanted into the Dramon Killers. So I would say the posability is adequate, but my main issue is the fact that it feels limiting because of the way that the joints are designed. It's not built like a humanoid, even though WarGreymon is a humanoid dragon dinosaur. I feel it's a bit lacking because even the amplified WarGreymon had a bit more posability than this. I feel like there was some posability taken away from us in order as a trade-off for anime accuracy. And it's not a bad thing. Like, you can get all the basic poses. You can get anything off of the box, especially if you have an action base. But there's just something lacking that I feel was taken away. In terms of fun and playability, this has the same critique I had with the amplified WarGreymon almost 3 years ago, where there is just a lack of playability. In fact, we lost some playability in comparison because the cool gimmick that the amplified WarGreymon had was that you could take the Dramon Killers or Dramon Destroyers and you can kind of have fun with it. You can take one off at the other and create like a Dramon claw on either side of the hand. You can't do that with the original WarGreymon because, you know, to be fair, it wasn't a function that was shown in the anime. But you lost the gimmick there. And again, this was a problem that I had that was somewhat rectified with the re-release of the amplified Black WarGreymon. There's no effect parts that could have done wonders for this kid. Like, you don't have the Terra Force, you don't have any effect parts for the claws that, at least with the Black WarGreymon re-release, you got some effect parts with the claws, which I thought was a step going in the right direction. The playability is somewhat lacking. Also, the other part that is making this lacking is I feel like you need to have other kits in order to really have fun with your Digimon collection. If it's just WarGreymon sitting by himself, I mean, it looks cool, but, you know, you can't really attack anything with it. You could pose him with Gunpla, but it's 2 different universes. It just doesn't work. So, just the playability here, you know, you get the Dramon Killers and you pose them, and your posability goes a little bit up if you have an action base. But I wish Bandai would include more effect parts with these Digimon kits. That to get more anime accuracy, because we get effect parts for Dragon Ball Z kits, which are almost essential. I mean, goddamn, like half of them come with Kamehameha effect parts. So why can't we get like effect parts for the Dramon Killers or the Terra Force? I'm just saying, if Bandai wanted to, they could add more to it. It's just the kit, which is cool, but I feel like you need other kits in order to spice this up. On my final thoughts on the figurized standard WarGreymon in comparison to the amplified WarGreymon. If you really had to make me pick between the two, I'm going to go with the amplified WarGreymon because I felt like I was a lot more satisfied. Now, granted, I have a bias because I put in a ton of work to paint my WarGreymon, but I feel like it had a better design, there was more posability in the chest, you had more functionality with the Dramon Killers, and the amplified WarGreymon, even though it's not a show-accurate design, is going to stick out a lot more. Not to offend the standard WarGreymon, because I've always been a proponent of anime accuracy, and this is the most anime accurate outside of the SH figure arts that you can get with a WarGreymon model kit. It's just that in comparison, this thing is lacking because we've seen better. I feel like the amplified line is a little bit more forward-thinking. This one is more simplified. If you just wanted, well, I just want the standard WarGreymon, nothing too fancy. It's like a pizza with no pepperoni. You're still gonna like the pizza, but that pepperoni gives a little bit more kick to it. So I feel like the amplified is the better of the two kits, even though, you know, it's kind of weird saying because the standard WarGreymon is newer. You would think, oh, newer is better. Not always true, my friends. So I gotta go with the amplified, but the standard is not a bad thing. It's much smaller, it's much more compact. It's gonna fit in with high grades a lot better, especially if you're a huge collector like myself, where you have so many that shelf space is often a fight for any brand new kit. And it's a great looking kit. It's got all the colors minus the Brave Shield. It's got decent postability. I built it in not even an hour and a half. It was a straightforward build, very quick, very relaxing. And it's a great kit by itself, but compared to what we have with the amplified line, I feel it's a little lacking. And overall, just Bandai, please include effect parts with these Digimon kits going forward. Please. You had the good idea with Black WarGreymon with the effect parts with the Dramon Killers. Keep that going. That's all I have to say. So, with that in mind, I am 101 R Smith, and I will see you later.